It's clear as day to me now. Dating Oblivion is the missing link between the original ENA and Barbecue ENA. We are finally going to see how Series ENA transforms into the completely new state we see in the game. I know, I said the exact same thing about Power of Potluck and turned out to be wrong. But now that Dream BBQ is actually out and we actually know what Barbecue ENA is like, and the phrase dating Oblivion ties directly into forget your past, I am really confident about my theory this time around, so hear me out. There is one part of my outdated Power of Potluck theory that I think still holds up. Runus's punishment. Back in 2023, I proposed the following.
Now, it's possible that any wrongdoings that came after the bet was made did not count, and ENA made one big wrongdoing, choosing to go on the quest to begin with. It seems that Runus had already gone home, so to speak, as he disappeared into the portal before ENA reached him. But ENA, persistent as she is, followed him in and chose to trespass onto the holy grounds, for lack of better words. Even Ulysses told her,
"Punishment is imminent."
And maybe it was. Maybe Runus just decided to play the long game. By Power of Potluck, ENA has returned to her classic state. And now that she's experienced inner peace for some time, it's especially agonizing because she knows what she's missing. She doesn't want to go through the depression, the mood swings, the self-loathing, the suicide ideations, all of that, all over again. She's desperate to return to that carefree state.
Which is why she decided to date Oblivion. As I said in my last video, I highly doubt ENA will literally be going on a date. Rather, I think dating is being used as a metaphor, like when people say they have a date with destiny, and Oblivion just so happens to be a synonym for forgetfulness. Therefore, the title of the upcoming project clearly implies that ENA will be trying to forget something. And in the trailer, we already see her doing it. Like I said before, I suspect that dating Oblivion will consist of ENA transforming numerous times into a variety of new identities, casually trying each of them on, just like one may casually test the waters with various partners while dating. Everything is falling into place! Can you tell that connection just dawned on me as I was writing the script? Anyway, I think the specific transformation we see in the trailer is pivotal to ENA forgetting her true identity, or in other words, forgetting her past. Before reaching this point, we'll probably see a variety of unique forms that maintain that classic blue and yellow look. But once she has completed the transformation into this human form, we see her exhaling blue and yellow particles. That's it right there. ENA is no longer bound to two extremes. She is finally free, or so she thinks. What happens next? Honestly, I'm not really sure, but it probably has to do with that weird cloud that matches both the project's logo and those hypnotic eyes that have me in a chokehold. She'll journey into it, some more interesting stuff will happen, and then, at the very end, we'll reach the transformation into Barbecue ENA. Who is Barbecue ENA? For a long time, I didn't know. Even after The Lonely Door released, I struggled to understand her. If you want the full context on this, follow the link in the description, but very long story short, that failure to understand and connect with her was because of my own trauma. And now that I'm finally starting to overcome that trauma, I have a much better understanding of Barbecue ENA. In the Dream BBQ announcement trailer, she is described as ENA, the worker. That is her full identity. She works. And as such, both of her sides, salesperson and Mimi, are tied to work. Through these two modes, ENA uses a good cop, bad cop strategy to progress toward her goals. We actually see something similar in the series, with the original ENA bullshitting her way through security with meltdowns on 3 separate occasions.
Are you gonna shoot me or something? Come on, do it!
You're all living a lie!
Why is everyone punching me so softly today?
Quit the hitting and finish the job!
And this is basically what Barbecue ENA does throughout the entire game. Now, to be clear, I don't think ENA did this on purpose. At least not in the series. In the game maybe, but in the series, she was clearly in genuine distress. But we do see here that in both the series and the game, ENA is extremely goal-oriented and panics if her path is blocked. But now's not the time to go off on a tangent! As I was saying, Barbecue ENA's entire identity is tied to work. Or so it seems. Through her humanoid form, we can see that deep down, there is more to her than her work modes. Deep down, she is severely burnt out and desperately needs a break. Deep down, she doesn't live to work. Rather, she works to live. And that brings us back to Dating Oblivion, where we will see the origins of the salesperson and Mini sides, the origin of ENA the worker. Sometime after ENA acquires her new human form, she will realize that something is very wrong. My guess? Instead of experiencing emotional stability like she had in her fully yellow form, she experiences complete emotional numbness. You know what Oblivion is also a synonym for? Nothingness. Holy shit, I'm a genius! You can probably tell that this part also just came to me as I was writing. So, ENA seeks out a way to fill the void. And that's when someone offers her a job.
It's more of a lifestyle. That's my destiny. What more could I do? God knows the rest.
It's more of a lifestyle? It's my destiny? What more could I do? God knows the rest! Are you hearing her? Clear as day! Now, I don't know if we'll actually see Barbecue ENA within Dating Oblivion, but I suspect that the final scene will have a very obvious sign regardless. I am willing to bet multiple fatty caddies that, just like we saw ENA exhaling blue and yellow particles in the trailer, the story will end with her inhaling white and red particles, taking on her new identity as ENA the worker. But I like to think that not all hope is lost for ENA. After all, when we see her respawn at the very end of the Lonely Door, for a split second, we see this. Somewhere, deep down, she still remembers her past. Will she eventually embrace her past self, sadness and all? Will she invent a new self that finally allows her inner peace? Or will she
Fail.
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 Like the rest of them.
Like the rest of them.
Like the rest of them.
Only time will tell.